How's it going, World Wide Web? It is Darkly here with another reaction video. I'm surprised I'm doing a second one. And this time, we are hopping into Blade versus Buffy. Now, this intro shouldn't be too long because I'm not that much of a Western comic reader. My only 2 cents is that ever since the MCU announced a new Blade adaptation, I was so psyched, and it was one of the few new movie projects that I was excited for. However, currently, Blade with Mahershala Ali is in production limbo, with no seeming progress in sight. However, in recent years, Blade has been getting a fair amount of the spotlight. Wesley Snipes came back in Deadpool and Wolverine. There is that vocal cameo or reference at the end of Eternals. And more recently, what looks to be Mahershala Ali's Blade was in Marvel Zombies, although not voiced by him. And I don't have much stake on Buffy. I know that Buffy's TV show was airing around the 90s or early 2000s, but whenever I think of the name Buffy the Vampire Slayer, my mind immediately goes to Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which apparently inspired Buffy. I did not know that before. So that's my connection with today's fighters. Now, if I were to make a prediction on who was going to win, I am probably going to double down on Blade. I am more familiar with Blade because of Marvel Media, and Blade has some of the sickest movie scenes. His name is Blade. He kills vampires. He fights like an absolute badass. And who wouldn't want that to win? However, because of my less familiarity with Buffy, I wouldn't be surprised if Buffy Media and Buffy lore had some secret feats or secret strengths or secret advantages that could pull one over on Blade. That's kind of the great thing about comic book fights for me, because I don't read them as much. There's a lot to learn from these characters. There's definitely going to be an air of surprise when we go through the analysis. Now, with that being said, let's move on to the video. Ooh, that is a good opening shot.
Blade versus Buffy.
The Daywalker versus the Vampire
Oh, these are
Slayer.
nice shots. This is shot in nightclub.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons.
Okay, I'm
and
very
skills to
stoked.
find out
You
who
got
will
my
win
attention,
a
Ismahawk.
death battle.
Ooh, I'm curious about the dialogue.
They are known by many names.
Hey, Alucard.
Revenant, Vortilaat, Nosferatu.
Vampires.
Nosferatu.
When the moon is out and
He
the night is young, these
Quick, get him before he
undead
turns off the
demons
lights.
are out for blood.
Fitting then that the greatest foe of those who stalk the night is the one who can walk the day. Blade.
Is
Yeah,
that really
that's-
his costume?
God, that's such a dated
now
costume.
There's a man who
There
doesn't
we
file
go.
his taxes.
That's the
Blade
Blade
is one
a lot
the
of
coolest
people know and
superheroes
love.
ever, and basically
I really gotta-
kickstarted the comic book movie craze.
I really gotta
And
visit
yet,
those Blade
he
movies.
is also seemingly the only one who knows or cares that in the world of Marvel, vampires exist.
Yeah, vampires
Seriously,
exist.
Nobody talks about
Plot
this.
twist.
Blade doesn't need anyone's help.
I
He'll
mean,
just
yeah, we actually do
horrify
have
by
monsters.
himself.
Even Blade's
surprise.
birth was hardcore. Just as the young Eric Brooks' mother was in labor, her attending doctor turned out to be the vampire Deacon Frost.
Yeah, this.
And he drank her blood right before she gave
Yeah,
birth.
that's a
This
very
infused
interesting
Eric with
origin
Frost's
story.
vampiric blood, turning him
Literally getting
half
attacked
human, half
while
vampire. A
being born.
dhampir.
So,
giving him a ton of vampy powers, but none of their weaknesses like garlic, holy water, or sunlight.
Eric would hone these abilities under the tutelage of vampire hunter Jamal Afari, sharpening him into a blade that would rape the vampire plague for good.
Blade is strong and fast enough to toss around 1,000
Oh, that's a
pound
big
demons
monster.
and cut bullets out of the air.
Oh,
He can
that's a
keep up
cool
with
shot, too.
Wolverine, who
Damn,
can deflect
he's
Cyclops'
fast.
light speed optic blasts, and
Oh, hey,
his
Wolverine.
Kevlar DuPont armor helped
Are you
him
see-
take
yeah,
the
that-
top
you
of
think that's
Count
gonna work
Von
on
Stadt's
Blade?
castle exploding.
He can heal small wounds immediately and sniff out the supernatural with his hypersenses. Also, his fangs can drain
Oh,
his
okay,
victims
that
of
is an
magical
interesting
energies.
frame.
After studying the ways of Hong Kong kung fu movies, Blade became
Very
a
nice-
master
very nice
martial artist.
visuals from the team.
Yes, the Rufus from
Editing-
Street Fighter
editing
School
team
of
always
Kung
does a great
Fu.
job.
While the only martial art he's been stated to know is Krav Maga, we know he's mastered more. So for the full scope of his martial arts ability, we'll examine the Blade movies.
All right,
as
martial
performed by
arts
Wesley
study.
Snipes.
Let's
By looking
go.
at Snipes' training and choreography, we know Blade uses Kung Fu, Capoeira, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Eskrima, Kickboxing, Shotokan Karate, and Hapkido. Add on Blade's knack for stealthy
I might
takedowns,
not
and
be
I
familiar
guess you
with
could call
one of
him
those.
Marvel's Batman.
Yep,
Blade's training
Batman
progressed smoothly
adjacent.
until
This is not
Afari was
a,
attacked
I mean,
and had his
this is
blood
the
drained
first
by
live action without
Dracula.
a Batman character,
Seriously,
but we
Avengers,
got a
Dracula is
Batman.
real. Why aren't you doing anything
Oh yeah,
about
I
this?
remember Dracula,
He's
yeah.
right there.
I was surprised
Forced to mark his
when
surrogate
that
dad,
cartoon,
Blade would have to wage
you
his
know,
war
made
alone.
Nursing
Dracula
a
thing
wound
like,
within him that would never
really,
heal.
Dracula
A hole
is
that
actually
could
going to
never
be a
filled.
recurring thing
Not
in this
with that
Avengers
attitude.
Assemble
Blade
show.
took a page out of the Book of Boomstick and tried filling that hole
Avengers
with
Assemble
every
is
kind
a
of weapon
fair
imaginable.
watch on occasion.
He's got so many, they're his apartment decorations.
Handguns, assault rifles, and explosives make up the brunt of his firepower. And he enjoys getting up close and personal with his dual
Oh, was that from
titanium
Marvel
katana.
Rifles?
Speaking
Oh
of
my
glorious Nippon steel, he's got a sword made out of adamantium.
Specifically,
Japanese-
secondary adamantium. A
A
variant of the
Japanese
metal
sword
that
made
is
out of
mass-producible.
adamantium.
It might not be quite
That
as
is
strong
definitely
as Cat's shield, but it
a
can cut
big
right
sign.
through heavy hitters like Ultron and the Hulk.
Naturally, Blade has
Oh,
even
well,
more
Ultron
swords.
mentioned.
His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments.
Okay, that was
The
a
First Sword
clean
can harm
transition.
intangible demons.
Nice job.
And the Justiciar can slay fallen angels.
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff he can pull out of his ass, like a Hellfire shotgun that burns your soul, or hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood. Seems kinda dumb to turn people into vampires, but it does
Yeah.
make them more vulnerable to Blade's arsenal.
All that pales in comparison to the arch weapon of hell in Blade's possession. The breathing
Up
gun.
there's the,
It is a
there's the
living firearm that hisses in the
what's it
presence
called?
of
I don't
demonic
know.
forces.
Breathing gun was
Its
talked a lot.
sentient bullets
During
chase
the
its
wait time
victims
for this
down.
episode.
The wounds they cause cannot be healed. And if they get lodged in your body, they'll slowly devour you from the inside out.
Oh
they
my
can
gosh,
even
is
hurt
that how it
Hell
works?
Lords and even greater threats like the cosmic Ghost Rider.
Blade
But
took everything
Ghost
he had
Ri-
and
okay,
fought
hello,
his
Ghost
one-man
Rider
war for
mention.
almost 100 years.
He's battled hordes of vampires while skydiving, infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider-Man like Miles Morales, who could absorb the energy of a bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blade's even
Oh, hey,
bested the spirit of
Shin's
vengeance,
using a lot of
Zarathos.
mentions
And
here.
while he occasionally allied
a lot
with
of
teams
references
like
to
the
other
Avengers,
Marvel
he prefers to work alone.
I
Featured on the
probably
show.
would too if they only cared about me when I was helping
Ironic
them,
cause
not
with Ghost
ridding
Rider
the world
with
of,
breathing
you know,
gun. Okay.
vampires.
That, and Blade is scared of what he might do if he loses control, because he does have one classic vampire weakness: a thirst for blood. Blah.
Even more so after he had a
Of course,
daughter,
yeah.
Brielle, whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If his bloodlust does overwhelm him, he will enter a berserker rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost of his sanity.
Though it does make him even better at killing vamps.
Of course there's
He's
gonna
made
be
a
a berserk
cottage
mode.
industry out of whooping Dracula's ass.
Dracula is unsurprisingly powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm that covered all of Boston with a wave of his hand.
Drac apparently didn't hold a grudge though, since he eventually made Blade the sheriff of Vampirsk, a vampire
sheriff
nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Amazingly,
What?
Dracula has even given Blade some of his own blood, which allows him to shapeshift into multiple forms, like a wolf, a horde of bats, or a
What?
cloud of mist.
So he can force his way inside your body and blow you up from the inside out, Ant-Man style.
What is with you with the Ant-Man? Blade's hatred of
famous
vampires
theory?
is only matched by his
Really?
hatred of himself. However, when Brielle showed signs of vampiric powers, Blade finally found a
Ruh-roh.
reason to reconnect with his daughter.
Okay, well,
training
okay,
her
there
the
you
same
go.
way Afari trained him a century prior.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war need not be so lonely
I'm
anymore.
concerned
With
about
his daughter
Blade's
at his
mental
side,
state
and
now.
also this plant creature pet called Boy Thing, let Marvel's
Boy Thing?
vampires beware. For should they indulge their
Boy
unnatural
Thing,
urges,
is that?
they'll be
Are
sure
we
to meet
teasing
their end at
Swamp
the tip of
Thing,
his
Man
blade.
Thing in the future? Alright, Death Battle,
In every
teach me all
generation,
about
there
this
is a
show
chosen
that I
one.
skipped
She
out
alone
when it
will
was
stand
airing.
against the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
For thousands of years, a new Slayer would be granted incredible powers and was destined to die young in battle against evil, passing their powers on to the next Slayer and the
Yeah,
next.
this
and
is
so on.
interesting
That
seeing
is,
that
until
Buffy
the
has more
newest
beyond the
Slayer
show.
would change everything. Buffy
But these
and
all-
Summers.
Not
Yeah,
exactly the first
this
girl you
camera
think is the
quality
savior of
definitely
humanity.
evokes
Buffy's
the
only goals
90s,
in
early
life were, in her
2000s.
own words,
That's
graduate from high
definitely a
school,
very
go to
nostalgic
Europe,
feeling for me.
marry Christian Slater, and die.
But that would all change when the Watcher Merrick appeared and revealed her destiny.
Honestly,
Like, total
I
bummer.
think
Merrick
more
trained
modern
Buffy in the arts
movies
of
and like
vampire
shows
slaying.
need to
She
bring back
became
this
so
camera
efficient that
quality.
She burned down her school.
Oh,
Whoops.
Forcing her and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California
Ah,
to
yes.
start a new
The
life,
best
far away
choice.
from any more
If
bloodsuckers
things go
and
south,
bad
move to
makeup.
California.
Unfortunately,
What could
small
possibly go
problem,
wrong?
Sunnydale just so happened to be right on top of a hellmouth, where the
Oh, that's
boundary
what's
between
wrong.
Earth and Hell is permeable.
Yeah, that sounds like the Valley,
Oh,
all right.
yeah,
Along with
look
new
at-
Watcher Giles,
look-
Wallflower
no.
Willow,
I
part-time
admire
bad boy, part-time
admire
sad
what
boy
the 90s,
Angel,
2000s
magical
could
retcon
accomplish
sister Dawn,
in
and
entertainment.
Xander.
Comic
Buffy and her
Sans.
Scooby Gang would battle a never-ending series of monsters.
And we mean truly never-ending. Sure, there's the TV show, but Buffy
Oh, hi,
has
Sarah
also been
Michelle
slaying
Gellar.
vampires across video games, comics, and 128 novels. Tens of thousands of pages of Buffy lore you've never heard of.
But we're just
I
crazy
can
enough
never
to
imagine
speed
binge
read 'em
watch,
all.
like
Buffy
binge
carries
reading
a variety of anti-vampire
entire-
weaponry. There's wooden
an
stakes,
entire
of course,
franchise.
sometimes dipped in Gorgon venom that can turn you to stone. Though she's also experienced with axes, swords, quarterstaffs, holy water, just about anything.
You said it! When she fought an ancient demon unable to be killed by any weapon forged in his time, Buffy introduced his stupid ass to the 20th
Seeing all
century.
these
She's also a master of
anti-monster,
Aikido,
like
judo,
fighter.
jiu-jitsu,
Oh,
boxing,
here we go. Let's see.
kickboxing, wrestling, karate, kung fu, wushu,
What?
tai chi, kendo, capoeira, and taekwondo.
Buffy
I
apparently
know- I'm
thinks
familiar
Hong
with
Kong's
two
kung
of
fu
those
movie
things.
masters could learn a thing or two.
No kidding. Thanks to her Slayer
seeing
senses,
all
her
of these, like,
reflexes are fine-tuned
monster
enough to
fighter,
dodge
monster
close-range
slayer, like,
Gatling gun
beast
fire,
weaponries
lightning
and
bolts
stuff.
from the sky, and
It-
even beams of
it's
light.
giving
She's
so
kept up
much
with another Slayer,
Castlevania
Faith, who
vibes.
can dodge laser beams
Well,
from point
that shouldn't be
blank
surprising though.
Buffy's strong
But
enough to
I
bend
really
rebar,
want a Belmont
punch this
character now.
4.5-ton
Just
bat monster into the
listening
air,
and watching all this stuff.
Smash hard enough to tear apart a building.
Oh dear.
Despite
Yep,
her
we had to
lack
take
of
a break
armor,
because
she can
of
survive
that
massive
feat.
explosions, like the one that
Oh,
destroyed
jeez.
Cephalian's lair that
That's
was
so
bigger on the
bizarre.
inside.
She can even fight blindfolded, but if
But
she
yeah,
is injured, she heals
looking at
fast
all
enough to
this
be
stuff
totally
makes
fine by
me
the next episode.
wish
One time,
that a
Angel
Belmont
sucked
character
out almost
gets an
all of the
episode
blood from
in
her
Death Battle,
body,
so
and she
we
survived.
need another
Doubly impressive
Castlevania
since
rep.
Angel's blood draining also drains magical energy.
Yeah, Buffy's own magic makes her weirdly resilient to esoteric attacks, like when she expelled this misty shadow demon trying to possess her body, or when she
Ooh,
resisted
spooky.
her soul being ripped apart and scattered across time.
Okay.
Or that
Interesting
time
citation.
she jumped into a vat of boiling liquid so hot it could reduce
Ooh,
people
it's
to skeletons.
the very hot
and she was
goo.
just fine.
She might not show physical scars, but she sure has emotional ones. Being the Slayer put a huge burden on Buffy's life.
Unable
mental
to
health
live
segment.
normally, she felt isolated, forced to internalize the trauma she faced on a daily basis. Sure, she had friends, but they couldn't understand
Seth
her
Green?
unique struggle.
Like
Chris
when
Griffin?
Angel turned evil after he took her virginity and tried to destroy the world. That must be one of those
Okay, that-
metaphors.
Sometimes the
certainly
worst
a
enemies
plot.
are the ones you can't fight and who don't fight back.
Made even worse by her having all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head.
Wait,
dating
seriously?
Back to the Stone Age.
Oh my
Buffy
gosh.
has dreamt of every battle a Slayer has ever fought, and can call upon those skills in a fight, even subconsciously.
But
Okay,
this includes the memories
that's-
of their deaths.
okay, that's
Countless
an
women
interesting edge
violently
she has.
dying young. A reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the Hell God Glory. After leaping into Glory's reality-ending interdimensional hole,
A glory hole, if you will.
Coke.
Buffy
There it is. Thank you,
sacrificed
Boomstick.
herself to save the universe, dying a hero's death.
It appears my glory hole joke was poorly timed.
Oh,
Finally
you think,
freed of
you
her
think
unfair
Boomstick-
earthly responsibilities, Buffy's soul ascended to heaven in perfect bliss. Until her friends brought her back to life in the agony of existence.
What?
This absolutely crushed.
I knew
Buffy,
there was
and
going to be more.
Ironically,
I was questioning if that was going to be
annihilated
the
her will
end,
to live.
but I knew there
that's
was more.
rough, Buffy. But with the show renewed for more seasons, she had to nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's battled for 48 hours straight, defeated vampires immune to
Well,
traditional
one thing
vampiric
for sure,
weaknesses,
this battle
and
is not
destroyed
happening
the
in
Sword of
Spirit
Sodom,
Halloween.
which caused the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her friends have defeated countless immensely powerful demons.
Like the Queller Demon,
That
which arrived as
causes
a meteor and caused the
micromillisecond
Tunguska
reactions.
explosion, which destroyed over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Or the Sorrow Demon, which caused a storm that blanketed Los Angeles.
She's also a match for Angel, who survived a blast that could rupture a continental shelf, and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She even faced off
Okay, so we
against
got
the first
some
evil,
city breakers,
literally the
continent
embodiment
city
of
stuff.
all evil that predates reality itself.
Forced into battles against stronger and stronger baddies, Buffy clearly needed something to even the odds. The, Slayer Safe!
It's actually a bardiche.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna say it.
A bardiche?
This thing is
Bardiche?
bullshit.
Containing the
didn't know
essence
that's
of
how you
Buffy's
pronounce it.
Slayer powers and created to defeat ancient demons, the scythe can deflect magical projectiles and slice through just about anything. Ghosts, magic, even space itself, destabilizing reality in the process.
Even Silas, the devourer of worlds. Kinda like Galactus, but instead of chomping on planets, he eats the multiverse. And there goes his head.
Multiversal
The scythe
Buffy?
is
What?
easily the most powerful tool
Are we
in
going
her
multiversal
arsenal.
Buffy?
In effect, attaining it completed Buffy, as though it were a piece of her she never knew was missing. With the scythe, Buffy was finally
It's a
whole.
scythe slash
Being
axe.
the Slayer was
I
no
mean,
longer
this isn't
a
the
burden,
first scythe
but
we're
a
having to
purpose.
defend blade.
And by sharing her Slayer powers with thousands of girls around the world, they all teamed up and kicked the first evil's ass.
Suddenly, the always isolated Buffy had thousands of shoulders to lean
Oh, wow.
on, a sisterhood of Slayers.
And
This is
thousands
split
more
of-
reasons for
Oh.
any wannabe demon conqueror to stay away
I wanna
from
make
her.
a sisterhood
Because
proudly
unless you
cast
want to
joke,
get your
but
blood all over her
I couldn't think
stylish
of
yet
anything.
affordable boots, you'll steer clear of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
Alright, cool, very cool.
Hey, as you know, it's
Support the
Skelletober.
show!
You mean
it's
October.
No,
Skelletober!
stupid, it's the Skelletober celebration.
I don't get it.
Celebration,
Come
let's
on,
go.
Don't you watch Death Battle Cast?
Honestly,
After the first time
I
ever,
was
we've got
hoping, I was
Skelletober
kind of
merch on the
betting
Death Battle
that
store.
Wait,
Skeletor
isn't that just
Lords that was
Skeletor?
gonna be
Skelletober?
was gonna
Yeah,
happen
look at that
this
head.
year,
Oh,
but
I'm putting those
I guess
stickers
we're gonna
on
have to wait for
everything.
that.
Wait, is that a pillow? We sell pillows now? Hell yeah! I'll take 7.
You can find
Hashtag
all that
support
and
the
more,
show.
including our limited desk mats that are selling pretty
Support
quick.
the show so
at
they can make more bangers for everybody to
www.deathbattle.gg.
see.
That's
Click the link,
www.deathbattle.gg.
let's go.
Happy Skelletober!
Happy Skelletober.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time
I think
for
I'm
a
still gonna go with
live-action
Blade, but I won't be
Death
surprised if Buffy
Battle!
pulls something out of her hat. Ooh, it's spooky drinks. Alright, we got this going down at a club. Really cool. Enter Buffy. Oh, is this something going to be like that one scene from the Blade Wesley Snipes movies? Okay, so that's how we're introing here. Oh, look at all the vampires. I notice her. It says her. Oh, enter Blade.
We were kings long before they had a name for kings.
Wait,
But now, Star
is that Mari
Hunted.
Takahashi
got
from Smosh?
you have waited long enough.
It is. Oh my gosh, I was not expecting
I
this.
remember who we were. Tonight, we take back what was always ours. Tonight,
Oh my gosh, Mari is cooking.
we
Wow. Mari is cooking.
feast.
Daywalker.
And she is just the start.
Here we go. Oh, Blade makes first strike. I like how this fight is unraveling. And these effects are really cool. Okay, this is cool. This already off to a great start. Okay, those are interesting transitions. The music is also very fun, yeah, very fitting for the club scene. Wait, was he wearing a Tonsky jacket? Vampire wearing a Tonsky jacket. That Liam? It looked like Liam. Oh! Oh, nothing. Okay, I'm curious. How is this gonna be a death battle? This should have been a team up. This should have been a team up episode. He welcomes the end. Oh, it's because she already got bitten. She's gonna be infected. Oh, so okay, so that's how to read it. He's just pointing her out of her misery.
Wait!
Okay, so this is gonna be a misunderstanding.
She was just a kid!
Not anymore.
Okay, so this is gonna be a conflict of difference, you know, world or whatever. Oh, that was a Shang-Chi move. Alright, that's cool. Sword fight? But are you really gonna be able to beat Blade with blades? Okay, cool shot there too. Great choreography.
You out your damn mind?
I will say this location is also is a great choice. And probably very fitting for Vegas. In that toilet? Oh gosh. Okay, this feels very Winter Soldier Red Hoodie. Wow. Oh my. Surprise strength. Oh my gosh.
Amateur hour.
There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill.
Okay. Channeling some Wesley Snipes energy there. Okay. Alright, where's the birdie? Oh, okay, environmental use. Nice, nice. Bardiche. Oh! Okay, Bardiche versus breathing gun. Oh, that's dead. Wait, what? Oh yeah, that's right. It comes back, right? So, okay. Might be slightly hindered there because of that shot. Let's see. Alright, Buffy. Are you gonna pull one out on us?
I see you cut through adamantium.
Bring it on.
Alright. Is this the climactic moment? mean, he hasn't gone berserk yet, but I think Buffy has one more. Alright, come on, Uno. I'm betting on Uno reverse here. Oh, yep, here we go. Oh. Oh no. Wow. Okay. Alright. I guess there was a plot twist. Alright.
Looks like you got ahead of yourself.
Oh, really? A pun? Okay.
To be
All right.
Blade tenued no longer.
All
I'm
right.
surprised. I figured with Blade's many years of
Yeah,
comic book
how are you gonna
history,
explain
he'd
this?
have the edge.
Believe it or not, Buffy is actually in more comics than Blade.
Really?
Okay.
Man, Blade can't catch a break.
Let's break this down into 4
I
categories.
mean,
First
considering
up,
that his
stats.
movie is on
Buffy's
hold,
lifted much
yeah,
heavier things
Blade
and survived
needs a
more
boost.
significant explosions.
Blade needs
Sure,
more love.
Blade's strong and all, but he isn't literally fucking buildings apart like Buffy.
Oh my
Scaling
gosh.
to the monsters they fought, compare Dracula creating a storm that covered Boston to the Sorrow Demon creating a storm that covered Los Angeles. A city over 5
Yeah,
times
yeah,
larger.
Boston
you
is
might
smaller,
be able to
so.
compare Blade to Spider-Man like Miles, who absorbed a bomb that could blow up Harlem, but that's significantly weaker than Whistler containing a blast that could wipe out London. They could both dodge light beams, but that doesn't keep Buffy from taking the overall edge in stats.
Blade's used to being the odd man out, though, so his versatility is just as important.
Ooh,
With Blade's
versatility.
numerous powers and massive arsenal, he
Versatility
certainly
is a
could
good
have
category.
overwhelmed the more straightforward Buffy.
Machine
certain
guns
reasons.
and magic swords are generally gonna beat out crossbows and morning stars. Not to mention, he actually wears armor.
Also, Blade's faster healing factor and immunity to traditional vampire weaknesses kept Buffy on the back foot for a time. Blade wins versatility.
But when it comes to
There we
skill,
go.
Buffy's got plenty of experience fighting armed opponents barehanded.
Both of them were masters of a similar number of martial arts.
And Blade has been kicking
this a
vampire
tie?
ass for a century, way longer than Buffy's
I feel like
even
this is
been
a-
alive.
I feel like this
While
should be a
Blade may
tie,
have more personal experience, Buffy's ability to draw on Slayer battles dating back to the Stone
Oh, yeah, that's
Age,
true.
at
Yeah,
least
she had the
40 times
memory
older than
stuff.
Blade,
Yeah, she did
gives
have that.
her the superior skill.
That's true.
Even
Yeah.
then, they both had weapons and abilities so powerful they could end the fight instantly, regardless of all else.
They're trump cards. Fortunately
okay.
for Buffy, she actually countered almost all of what Blade could throw
Yeah,
at her.
that's what it
Withstanding
very
Blade
seemed
draining
like.
her
That's what it
energy
seemed like
with
in
his
the
bite?
analysis.
Check.
Resisting the Hellfire shotgun, destroying her soul. Check.
Preventing Blade
It's like
turning
as soon
to
as
mist
you
and
hear
exploding her
those
from the inside
resistances
out.
or counters
Check.
to your other
Meanwhile, Blade
character,
had no way
you
to
definitely
survive,
have an
save
idea like,
Buffy's Gorgon
oh,
venom turning him to
we're getting
stone.
Uno reverse.
Even with the
rug is
deadly
going
and
to
just
get pulled out from under
gross
us or
breathing
something.
gun, Blade did not have anything as potent as the Slayer sight. It could easily deflect the breathing gun's bullets back at him, or use its space-cutting ability to slice through his unbreakable adamantium sword.
Oh,
Don't
interesting.
believe us? Even Wolverine's adamantium skeleton was cut in half when a portal closed on top of him.
Now
That's
I'm
the
very
same kind of
curious.
thing.
Is
And Wolverine's
Buffy
beta
the
adamantium
first
skeleton is a
character
much
to
tougher
wield an
version of the
axe
same
in
metal.
that battle?
Oh, and since the site
probably
could kill
somebody I'm
Silas,
missing, but I feel
a
like this is the
multiverse
first time
devouring
we've seen, like,
god, I think you could take down
an
Blade
axe
with
or
a big
Bard
enough
Beach.
swing.
Well,
Giving
this is the
Buffy
first time
the
we've seen
final
a Bard Beach
advantage
fight.
over the
Yeah,
Daywalker.
I'm very curious.
Really thought Blade
But,
had a
okay,
chance,
yeah.
but Buffy
No, very
sure
solid,
put a
very solid.
dhampir on things.
The winner is Buffy the
Congratulations,
Vampire
Buffy.
Slayer.
Next
All right,
time
which of the
on
remaining
Death
Kickstarter
Battle.
wars are you going to be? Wait, Dante versus Clive already? Oh my gosh. Is this Torian's episode?
Subscribe and join as a member
Wow.
to see more Death Battle.
I
Thanks for
was not
watching.
expecting that. That... Oh my gosh. Wow. We need another surprise. I was not expecting that. To future me, if Buffy wins, your end screen for the review segment is going to be Superior. Okay, I know I told myself that we were gonna have a Buffy or Blade on the end screen for this review segment, but we're putting that out the window. We got Dante versus Clive Rossfield, baby. Before we get to the next time, I'll talk about the episode really quick. Basically, I thought it was pretty cool. I think I liked Winter Soldier versus Red Hood a little bit more, but this was definitely entertaining. Although I feel like there are some aspects of Blade I would have liked to see. I would have liked to see maybe a Berserk. I mean, it wasn't clear to me. I'm not too familiar with comic books, but I still thought it was a very solid episode and very appropriate for Halloween. Now, oh my gosh, how am I going to get over my feelings for the next time? First of all, we need to celebrate. This is our first Final Fantasy combatant. That is it from 7. Bring down the confetti. Bring out the fireworks. Editor me, do something about it. I will say Clive vs. Dante isn't my first choice for a Clive matchup. In fact, I did commission a track from Therewolf Media for Alphen versus Clive. Alphen being from Tales of Arise. I'm kind of a Tales vs. Final Fantasy stan. But I will admit that I did come up with the idea for Alphen vs. Clive. I came up with the idea before Final Fantasy 16 could be released and be playable. So now that's been like a year or more since its release. There's definitely been time for people to cook and come up with ideas. And Dante versus Clive was among one of them, or one of the many. And I will say, while Alphen is my preferred opponent for Clive, I was very open to hearing more potential opponents for Clive, and Dante seemed to be the most recurring. And I mean, I'm very open, and you know, there's definitely ways for the devil to trigger and Ifrit to collide. So this is going to be very, very fun. I'm definitely very hyped. Maybe Alphen vs. Clive can happen one day. I need Tales vs. Final Fantasy to have happen at some point. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm also jazzed because the first known Final Fantasy rep we're getting a death battle is coming from the newest one. And a little fact about me, I am an avid, I have an active subscription for Final Fantasy 14, and I'm very invested in now Yoshida's work, or Yoshipi's work. And to see that, and to see his work being incorporated in Death Battle makes me even more excited for this coming episode. So I'm definitely coming back with a reaction for Dante vs. Clive. Maybe I'll do a little bit more stuff related to the episode beforehand. As for preliminary predictions on who is going to win, or preliminary bets, honestly, I can't really say I'm betting for anybody, but I am for sure rooting for Clive. And considering the insane feats and lore behind Final Fantasy 16, while it seems very limited compared to other Final Fantasy entries, there's actually quite a bit to unpack from the bosses and the dominants and everything they've accomplished. So, in the meantime, I appreciate all who have watched this video. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Smiley face. Bye-bye.